is Mac Thorne.
Hello, my name is Johnathan Chin.
The title sequences that you see that introduce actors' names, also the name of the film.
All the watercolor renderings, all the fabric swatching.
Miguel, Gabriel.
People misconcept thinking that acting is easy.
Film and drawing kind of went hand in hand in animation.
And you're gonna go on in this time, and they just give it to you. And you've got to learn it like that.
There's lots of things that are super important in the industry.
Just making sure that everything matches up between scenes, making sure eye lines match up, making sure props or angles and all the elements within the angles.
I just didn't even know that there was a separate job for this. I mean, that's probably one of the most important things to say.
To stay positive all the time. We work as costume designers. Many times we have to arrive the same time as the makeup artist because we have to help the actors with their costumes. Then they can go into the makeup chair, and sometimes that's 2 hours or more before they have to go to set.
Patience and dedication is super important to have. It took me a while for me to book a camera and a few of these other projects that I've been in. And if I hadn't had the patience and dedication, I would have given up and probably would have regretted it.
Number one misconception I would say is that something's impossible.
I think a really big one is the flashiness of stuff does not make it a better film, movie, animation, that kind of thing.
I think it's glamorous. After it's all done, when the film is released, it's kind of nice because you have a party and they do sometimes there's a book involved, so you do a book signing. But the process when you're in the trenches, it is so hard and so not glamorous. It's the thrill, you need a lot of adrenaline for it, but the thrill of seeing it all come together is bar none.
I think people misconcept that Hollywood is all evil, and don't get me wrong, Hollywood sometimes can be evil, but it's not all evil. Also, people misconcept thinking that acting is easy, when in reality it takes discipline, dedication, and passion to know your character and to develop your acting skills. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Honestly, a lot of my career has felt pretty chaotic.
You've got to be on your toes. It was when somebody's like, okay, you're gonna do this and you're gonna go on in this time. And they just give it to you. And you've got to learn it like that. And you've just got to do it and go. And that's difficult.
We pitched on a movie for Marvel called Doctor Strange. It was a really important thing for us at the time. We really put everything we could into it. We had to go through a lot of clearances with the studio. All these hurdles that you have to jump through to prove to a company like Disney that you're worth hiring on a project. We won the project, and it was one of the best moments that we could have asked for. But within, I would say, 6 weeks, the project was taken away from us.
There's definitely moments where I have struggled in terms of balance of work, life, and also just the idea of letting certain things go. I'm definitely a perfectionist, so it's where do you draw the line?
When my vision doesn't align with someone else's, that's my biggest problem. I think that it's crucial to find a compromise that works for both parties.
I was so pessimistic about everything. I just didn't even know if I wanted to do this anymore. And then sure enough, a little bit of time went by. We started kind of crawling back from that and getting better and better work, better and better projects.
We were literally at Cape Canaveral where they launched the rockets. We get there. Everything was going fine. First, it started to pour. And the next scene, they said, well, since it's raining, we're going to have to do an indoor scene. And it's going to be all about the bladder that holds the pee for the astronauts when they're in space. Master didn't know that this was going to happen, and it wasn't in their truck. So they come running to costumes, and they're like, what are we going to do? First, I need somebody who has a condom. Huh? Then we need tubes. And then I stole a raincoat off of somebody's back that was a clear yellow raincoat. It was not quite right, but it kind of worked, and some glue. And we just rigged it all together with the heat gun and the glue and and we made it happen. But it was super embarrassing and super crazy.
One of the biggest challenges I've had while working on a film is finding actors. I was working on a film called Threads of Hope that I wrote the screenplay of. I storyboarded and wrote down all the shot lists. No, I don't want to do that. It's too much time. I was kind of out of luck there. The hardest part in the film process, post-production. Hands down, post-production. I love pre-production, I love production, I love being hands-on. By the time I get to post-production, I don't want to be there anymore. I have nothing to do with the film.
Probably for me is just the stop and go of it. You know, filming isn't a smooth flow through the whole thing. You do it a number of times over. You have many takes.
I'm absolutely certain that it is pre-production. In terms of post-production, you have so much room for error. You have so much time to explore, play around with things that you didn't consider during pre-production. But pre-production, like, there are rules, you know, everything has to be planned.
I started to really become fascinated with film like around late 80s, early 90s, like when I saw Tim Burton did Batman. I sort of couldn't believe that an entire world could be created like that. And then that made me want to research Tim Burton's work more.
Basically, at a very early age, I realized I really enjoy drawing. I realized that film and drawing kind of went hand in hand in animation. So I kind of got the best of both worlds where I could tell a story through my drawings.
I started in theater and I did a little Shakespeare play in a very small town in Biddeford, Maine, and the rest was history. The first movie of significance that I worked on that I realized that this was really the dream was a movie directed by Robert Redford called A River Runs Through It.
I think at a young age, just like growing up, like watching the media and just like watching a lot of TV shows, I was like, I definitely want to be an actor, almost like every child in the world.
I think the first moment I realized I wanted to be in the industry was the entire shooting of my movie camera. Just collaborating with people and getting to know them of how some of the movies that they watched changed their lives and that it made them want to be in the industry is just, I don't know, it's just so inspiring.
It has to check a couple boxes.
Anytime I'm worried or scared, or if I'm like, oh man, how do we do that? So that's usually the most exciting projects and the most interesting.
It has to check the box of number one, what is the goal of the client? Does the concept that we're pursuing, that idea that you're talking about, does it fit within the box of what the client has told us? And the second one is it doing something for us that feels like something we want to do and we want to make?
I'm a very creative person. I have a lot of ideas. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to, does it serve the director's vision? And that's really important for all of us behind the scenes to know when to let it go and go with the collective vision.
If the idea sparks your heart and soul, then it's worth pursuing.
I am working on a film right now that I guess would be my favorite because it does speak to me, and every time I start working on it, I get super excited again to be in film. It's called My Confessions. Right now it's just a screenplay, but it's been in the works for like a year and a half. It's one of those things that I really want to produce in the future, so I want it to be perfect.
I loved the ones that I produced at the UCLA summer camp, being able to ricochet off ideas with friends and my coworkers, with my collaborators.
If you care about something, if you care about pursuing something out here, that the opportunities are eventually limitless. Even if it takes a little bit of time to get there, I really do feel like the sky is the limit. All it takes is one or two opportunities that may seem very low level. They could be anything. The end crawl at the end of a movie when that thing comes up, and And people are like, wait a minute, how could it be possible that this many people worked on this movie?
My main point would be to not give up and to keep going no matter what, because eventually your moment and your time and your opportunity or opportunities will come to you.
Peace out. Was that cool? Was that cool? Yeah, it was.